I am part of a history, fitful sleep last night. Woke from my own moans and deadline anxiety early. Now I try to write concise, edit down the world, and those ever-present birds sing to me. I am part of a history of North Carolina farm workers, grand storytelling office workers, creative patient teachers, Texas backwoods cowherders, ranting alcoholic preachers, and spit-shine military men. I am part of a history of Cherokee mixed marriages and European and African lovers. I am part of a history of raging political poets, of boho babies in exile, of round pegs carving those round holes. I am part of a history still burning through me on a hazy Lower East Side morning, still making me. History still in the making in me, and those goddamn crazy birds. Now I'd like to read from Filled with Wanting, my latest book, Filled with Wanting, Poems of Desire. So that was a poem about everything that I am, possibly. This is a poem about everything that I'm not. I'm not a very angry person, and so I decided to get all my anger out in this one poem. So it's called This is an Angry Poem. I am not a primordial princess. I am not a jazz expert. I am not an exotic adventure. I am not a great tap dancer. I am not an outstanding athlete. I am not a criminal. I am not a sex fiend. I am not the other woman. I am not an inappropriate choice. I am not an embarrassment. I am not a trophy for the radically chic. I am not a radical politico. I am not a crusader. I am not a revolutionary. I am not a southern accent. I am not a nice white boy's fantasy. I am not a rapper. I am not fluent in Black English. I am not a symbol of integration. I am not a token anything. I am not your Black friend. I am not your Black girlfriend. I am not an expert on Harlem. I am not more white than Black. I am not assimilated. I am not your secretary. I am not your gateway to Africa. I am not the voice of Black America. I am not the other. I am not a threat. I am not a typical anything. I am not the Black experience. I am not to be pitied. I am not to be praised unnecessarily. I am not a decoration. I am not the keeper of ancient wisdom. I am not part of your mythology. I am one Black woman. This is called Shape Shift. It's inspired by the introduction to Anne Walker's book, Davies, and it was her book as an ode to male energy, honoring male energy. So this is my version of it. Boy, child, trickster, he is one, he is two, he is three, innocence, genuine, pure spirit, and mischievous, wild child, jester, he can be many. Hold me, enfold me, wrapping, the word wrapping comes to mind as in enraptured. Wrap me in this complex rapture, the moment when we are caught up, drawn up, taken up, to split the sky, divide the heavens. He is shifting forms, clouds, trees, soft, furry creatures, smooth, cold, relief. Transmigration, transmutation, transformation, transfiguration, a trance in anything. I look at you and see my mother's eyes, compassion, caretaker, nurturer, facilitator, compelled to soften rough travel. I look at you and see my small self streaming. Next is a piece from a series I wrote called Rose Window or Prosats. Queer nuzzling into a new day, Daisy woke up. Fear woke her up, a new ghost to go dancing with. Several hours later, missed the world in its resonators, bald heads walking, laughing babies, men with canes, creeping ivy and grapevines, gentle sleeve tugs. It is a thing that happens. Before crossing the street, he kissed her. She saw his eyes zero in on her lips, and his lips, and as she aimed hers slightly to the left, they landed cheekward somewhere, hovering between his beard and the air. Their chins touched briefly as she imagined his arms around her, hands on her ass, and his tongue deep in her mouth. The light changed, a small drizzle. Fear woke Daisy up in the middle of the street. Everyone suddenly blew, a dark effervescent blue as if covered with body paint, dressed for carnival. But somehow it was caused by a shift in the lighting. Suddenly everyone resembled barking blue dogs. We began describing ourselves to each other. He said, I was all blue except for a spot of red at the center of my lips, a deep red spot, as deep as the blue that covered the rest of my body. Older Rondo 1. All that, she said, two toddlers taking turns, feet on top of the sprinkler, a literal zone of second-to-second swing from friend, juice, red, vital, and also liquid. All that always there, hair tangled, twisted curls, back wide, sit, as the lion also supplicant. Language makes the thing making, smile permanent, smile subtle, loving this and all restless moving, all that and always there. Here is a little change of pace. This is a poem about the way I feel sometimes, and I'm sure that a lot of you feel that way too, once in a while. It's called Gray Fox Woman. I want men to die of longing for me, to think of me day and night, to whine and moan like dogs. I want to kill the moaning men, chewing anxiously at my bit because I'm so full of sun, so full of morning light, so full that I just want to fuck everybody. So, what is this? I feel so happy, so full, so free that it makes me want to fuck everybody. Why can't I do that? What's wrong with that? If I can't do that, then what happens to all this energy? You can only dance so much, you can only sing so much, you can only write so many poems, you can only fuck the same person so much. So, what do you do with all that rolling on the grass energy, all that rolling on the grass in the woods energy? I want to fall down with rolling on the grass women. I want gray fox women rolling on the grass with me. I want to ring the red bell for gray fox women and kennels full of moaning men. So let me know what to do with all this energy. Okay, this is my last poem. It's okay to laugh. I feel this is the poem. Stop now, must stop now to record the poem. A familiar feeling. I have been here before. Crosby Street is a lovely street to walk on an empty Tuesday afternoon. This is the poem coming after a long time. I saw your poem browsing through a magazine at the Open Center on the street called Spring, and envied your minor celebrity and was jealous of the love or lust you wrote of in the poem for someone else. Had me melancholy, turning right off Spring to Crosby and suddenly remembering the voluptuous moon, the other hot June night, and another love suddenly kissing me, and the smell of his hair, the way it sprawled wildly across his face like panic black lace, now mingles with the memory of the taste of you, how you always tasted of milk. And the buildings seem protective now, tall and sure on Crosby Street, and you too nestled somewhere in me as the poem comes suddenly after a long, long time. Thank you.
There's some things I got to say. There's Adrian Clark's book at the back also, which I think is £6. Is that right? Yeah. And also there's the new kind of digital magazine called Street Cake Magazine, which says on their cards, which are free to collect at the back, innovative experimental visual writing. So their first issue was good and had work from Jeff Hilson amongst other poets. So yes, that's something to be happy with. I'll go straight on to introducing our next poet, Michael Zand. Listening